some of that time on the top half, or he's not going to win this event.
Meanwhile, Jimmy Olsen, 111.4 miles an hour at the picnic grounds.
You can see everybody cheering him on as he gets through there. He looks very fast in the corners. He's getting that thing, he's getting the back end out, he's getting on the throttle very early, so he's got a good run going down here in the bottom half of the course.
Back at the starting line, getting ready for David Donner to take the green flag. First time in several years that David has come back to the open wheel division. He had been running the high performance showroom stock division for the last 3 years, and of course was the 91 open wheel champion.
It'll be interesting to see how he gets back. These cars drive a lot differently than the showroom stock. Got a lot more horsepower, the weights range differently, so you have to drive them a lot differently than you do a stock vehicle.
And you can see the water still kicking up as these guys go flying up the mountain. Here's Jimmy Olsen, the time to beat on the left, and Jimmy easily quicker than Jimmy Keeney. Olsen, 4 minutes, 49.80 seconds. Let's check the map now, and you can see where everybody is. Harper, the furthest up, he's into the W's, and Olsen just getting past Glen Cove. Back at the starting line, Lee Kanawyer getting ready, but here is David Donner in the Donner Dykstra, 107.4 miles an hour, and I don't think he has time to give you a thumbs up there, friend.
He's pretty busy in there right now trying to get that thing turned right and left.
We've got an onboard with Lee Kanawyer, the 5-time open wheel champion, and he has been very quick in practice. You heard Reese Millen saying 10 minutes is not going to be broken. Well, you can see the rain on the road, and that's not good for Lee, but if there is a guy who has a shot at it, this is it.
Yeah, he's very fast. He really likes this mountain. He's been so good here. Look how far crossed up he gets that thing. He had that thing full lock to the right as he went through that last corner.
Meanwhile, here's David Donner, and the time to beat on the left, Jimmy Olsen is going to hold up. Donner slower, 4 minutes, 53 and change.
Yeah, he's really going to have to pick it up this last half of the course, but he can do that. This is the handling part of the course.
Whoa, look out. He puts one wheel into the ditch, manages to hook it, and he turns a negative into a positive.
He certainly is letting it all hang out. He's got both wheels down on the inside of that course, way down in the ditch, so that's not the way most guys run this course, but he's certainly doing a good job here.
Look at this, picnic grounds, 123 miles an hour. Kinoyer, by far and away, the quickest of the day.
Wow, that's 15 miles an hour faster than anybody else that I've seen anyway.
He has no fear. And you say, wait a minute, how do these guys remember this layout? Believe me, they've run this so many times, they can almost do it in their sleep. Stay with us, we're coming back.
To you, it's a PC, but to your kid?
You need to get caught up on the latest racing news. All you got to do is dial up rpm.espn.com. No matter what form of motorsports, that's your ticket on the internet. Right now, your e-ticket ride is with Lee Kanawyer here at Pikes Peak in the International Auto Hill Climb. Take a look, and you can see that Keith Harper is closing in on the finish. Jimmy Olsen near Devil's Playground. Donner up in the W's, and Lee Kanawyer getting ready to approach Glen Cove. Let's go to Bottomless Pit and catch up with Jimmy Olsen, the 1999 Rookie of the Year.
And look at the wings he's got on that thing. He's got double rear wings, double front wings. That's what really holds these cars to the ground, allows them to get good bite and run so fast up this mountain.
This is Keith Harper, and Keith from nearby Manitou Springs weaving his way through this layout, and the time to beat on the left is Jimmy Keeney. Harper looks like he is going to be able to do it as he has just a few more feet to go. Here he comes around the final corner, and Keith Harper stops the clock at 11 minutes, 37.84 seconds. So he is the man to beat. Now David Donner into the W's, and here he comes in that sleek-looking Donner Dykstra. And yes, it was Lee Dykstra, the famed engineer, who helped build this chassis.
And it doesn't look like he's attacking the corners quite the way that Kinoyer is, although he got off there pretty good with a lot of wheel spin.
Yeah, I was just noticing that too. He's getting an awful lot of wheel spin as he continues to work his way up the mountain. Back on board with Lee Kanawyer. Now he's in that area known for its pen suppress. Now this is almost like asphalt. Look at him go!
Man, is he attacking this course? He is sideways even there where it's very good traction.
He just went by the halfway point at Glen Cove. You can see 4 minutes, 43.12 seconds.
And He is a busy man in there. He's shifting gears with his right hand. He's steering with his left hand. Look at this, one-handed, sideways, tossing that thing around as far left as he can go. Now that he's shifting gears again with the right hand, look at this. He's adjusting the fuel mixture. The higher you go, the leaner the fuel mixture gets, so you have to adjust it as you go up the mountain.
And look at the road trying to rip the wheel out of his hand.
Yeah, it's very up in that section where the pin suppress is broken up a little bit, so you really have to hang on.
At Bottomless Pit, that's David Donner. And of course, the accident involving Chandler Bruning has brought back memories for David. His brother Bobby was killed in another hill climb when a deer ran out in front of his car. So he can remember vividly today what has been in his past and what also happened just a little bit earlier in the week. Here's Jimmy Olsen now, 10:35. The clock is running. Looks like Keith Harper is going to get bumped here because Olsen is going to go under 11 minutes and stop the clock at 10 minutes, 45.59 seconds. So Olsen, now the man to beat, the winner last year. Will he be able to hold on over the two remaining competitors on the course? Back on board with Gary Lee Kanawyer. Hold your breath.
He is giving us a ride as he heads up this mountain, and he is letting it all hang out as he's on both sides of the road, clear down in the ditch and clear out on the edge as he goes around these corners.
I always love watching Gary Lee right before he makes his run. He closes his eyes, sits in the cockpit, and visualizes the entire race course. Just literally, you can see him just working his way up the mountain. Well, right now, he's doing it for real. And here we are at the top of the W's, heading for Devil's Playground.
Yeah, he's three-quarters the way up this mountain, and you can see there's people on both sides, so you got to be aware of that as well as the racetrack.
Well, this is one of the best areas for the spectators. They love it up here because they can see so much of the race course. Stay with us. Auto Hill Climb, you're riding on board at Bottomless Pit with Gary Lee Kanawyer.
And look how rough it is, and he just rides that thing through, never gets out of the throttle.
Let's just sit back and ride along.
That right front hanging off of that mountain, almost out in the air.
I thought for a second we were going off the edge. I really did.
And he has been off the edge before, so he knows what it feels like.
Let's check in again with David Donner. And David, he does not look to be as fast in this section. He was quick all week long during practice. I'm wondering if there's something wrong with the car, because look at the time.
I just don't think the engine's running quite up to par. Doesn't sound like he's got enough torque off the corners.
Well, he is not going to bump Jimmy Olsen, 11 minutes, 0.28 seconds. So David Donner right now is in second place. So here comes Gary Lee Kanawyer, the last man at a shot at not only winning the division, but claiming the title as King of the Mountain for 2001 and maybe the 10-minute mark.
Man, oh man, he is carrying that front wheel as he goes around. That thing's got a lot of lean in it. That just means he's getting good bite.
Back on the power, and you can hear the motor still got a lot of songs. Well, 10 minutes is out of the question, but can he beat Jimmy Olsen's 10:45? Just a few turns remain. The finish line in sight. Here it comes. The clock stops at 10 minutes, 39.76 seconds. So Gary Lee Kanawyer is King of the Mountain in 2001 as he beats Jimmy Olsen by 5.83 seconds. David Donner in third, 20 seconds back, and Keith Harper